Hi everybody, it's Ginny, VSGinny. And as you can see, I have a new camera, so I may look totally different. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You can at least see me better. I'm not my usual blurry self, I think. So let's see. This is my 3-month post-op VSG update. Today is Friday, June 19th, 2015. Last Friday I was 431.8 pounds or 195.8 kilos. Today I am 427.4 pounds or 193.8 kilos. So that's a loss of 4.4 pounds or 2 kilos exactly. Number recap, which obviously I should say I'm happy about. That's awesome. Number recap, my high weight was 600 pounds in January 2014. Date of surgery, March 28th, 2015, I was 488.2 pounds. Total weight loss so far, drumroll, 172.6 pounds or 78.2 kilos. That's a lot. Total weight lost since surgery, 60 pounds or 25.6 kilos. Also a lot. So I'm doing really well. I'm really happy that my weight has continued to move. It seems to have stopped stalling for now. So very happy about that. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what all has contributed to it, but you've heard me speculate about that a number of times, so I won't bore you with that again. Other than that, I've been doing well. I did have one day this week where I had really terrible acid reflux the night before, and I should say I have a lot of acid problems, but I had reflux before I had sleeve, and um, some people say that it can get a lot worse if you had it before. And I was medicated for it, but I didn't have any issues with it because the medication I had worked very well. But obviously, I'm having issues now. So I don't know what the resolution to that is going to be. I did email my surgeon's office last week, but haven't heard back from them at all. Not really surprised, unfortunately. Um, but so I may have to call them just to see if they have any other suggestions because, yeah, it's getting kind of old. But yeah, like I said, I had really bad acid that one night, and the next morning I woke up, like I sat up really fast because I felt really nauseous. Like I felt like I was going to get sick, and I was able to hold it off for a while, but eventually I did get sick a couple of times. And that's not really something that has happened to me since I've had surgery. I've gotten sick a couple of times, but both times it was because I ate something that my sleeve didn't like. Like, for example, a half a cup of nuts, which, really good calories, healthy fats, whatever. But my sleeve was like, no, no. But yeah, so just various things like that, but only a couple of times. So this was a real rarity for me. It was very surprising. And I felt vaguely nauseated all day long. So I didn't get a lot of calories in that day. I got like 750. So that's like not up to my 1,000 calorie goal, but that was the best I could do that day. And I took in more carbs than usual that day just because the food that goes down easier when you're sick is carby, largely soup, for example. Um, but yeah, I did the best I could, and I was feeling better the next day and back on track. So yeah, life goes on. Okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about, I don't have much to say about me today for once, um, but I want to talk to you guys about something that I've noticed in the community that really bothers me, and that's um, people talking very like disparagingly about their old bodies, their before bodies. Um, I get that once you've lost weight, it's easy to sort of think that in order to make sure that you never go back to that place, that you part of you sort of wants to form hate around the old you, around that body that you associate with being unhealthy and or for some of you unhappy, or you just associate so many negative things with that body that it's easy to sort of fall into saying some really terrible things about it. And it's I'm not saying it's not fair to say I can do more at this smaller size, or I'm so much healthier at this smaller size, because those are both very true and both very great. And I'm very happy for all of you that that's true for. I'm happy for me, it's true for me too. Um, but I've heard people call, like, say they've gone back to look at old pictures of themselves or old videos, and they've called their old bodies disgusting, hideous, ugly, words like that, really powerful words. And these are words that you wouldn't go up to a stranger and say. You wouldn't approach someone on the street, unless you're a jackhole, and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you aware that you are hideous?" That would make you a terrible person. So why is it okay to say these things about ourselves? The person you were before, the person you were at 400 pounds, 300 pounds, 200 pounds, that person was and is still a human being. You are a human being, no matter what size you are. And human beings deserve to be treated with respect and gentleness and care and love. And even your old body deserves that. I mean, the old person you were, if you think about yourself, if you just, close your eyes and imagine your old body for a second, that person weighed what she did or what he did for some of you for a reason. I've said before that a class that I went to, there was a professor who was also a doctor who said to his class, anybody who's more than about 50 pounds overweight, it's never a matter of just letting yourself go or, liking food too much or something simple like that. There's something else wrong, something medical. It could be mental health related, like it could be an eating disorder. It could be somebody who only knows how to cope through eating with their depression, with their anxiety. Or it could be that you're on a medication that makes you gain weight. It could be PCOS. It could be any number of things that can, contribute to people gaining weight. But the fact remains that for most people, there was a reason that you were that size. And even if the reason was you like to eat junk food, for most of us, there's a reason that you were craving junk food. Like maybe you had a sleep disorder that you didn't know about, and you had an imbalance of leptin and ghrelin that was making you crave junk food. There's always something else that can be behind it. And that person, even if you look back now and you hate that you were ever that unhealthy, assuming you were unhealthy at that size, because not everyone is, but let's assume you were. Even if you look back and you're not happy about that person that you were, I mean, that person existed the way that she did for a reason. She got you through something. She helped you live through something. She helped you survive. Maybe, being that large helped you live through an abusive situation. And, whatever it was you were coping with, that person helped you cope, helped you hang on and cope until you could find and were ready to find a better and healthier way to cope with any issues that you had. And again, I'm not trying to generalize and say this is true for everybody. I know there's some of you that it's not true for, but for many people this is true. And I really think that we need to be kinder to ourselves, and being kinder to ourselves includes being kinder to our old bodies. You'll never hear me say that I was ugly at 600 pounds, because I wasn't. You will never hear me say that I was hideous, that I didn't deserve love. You will never hear me say unkind things like that, because they're not true of me. They weren't true of me 170 pounds ago, and they aren't true of you either, and they weren't true of you. And the biggest thing about all of this is you have to think about, even if you don't agree with anything I've said so far, okay? Even if you don't, you have to think about what you're doing to other people. I mean, there are people of all sizes who are part of the WLS and or weight loss and or fitness communities. And when someone who doesn't have, good self-esteem, I'm very lucky that I do. I worked hard to get there, to have, good self-esteem even at 600 pounds. But there are many people out there who don't, naturally, because society is very hard on larger people. And if you were 250 pounds at your old weight and you're one of those people posting on, Facebook, here's my before and after shot. I can't believe how like hideous I was, how ugly, how awful. There are people looking at that who are 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, all these different weights, and they're thinking to themselves, if they don't have good self-esteem, which many don't, they are thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, if this 250-pound person thinks, like this person who was 250 pounds, if they think they were disgusting at that size, what must they think of me? Like, and that is dehumanizing. That makes you feel, if you're in that space and you see that kind of thing, like less of a person. And it makes it kind of like how, Melissa McCarthy, I'm sure you guys have probably heard that she's come out with a new fashion line and it claims to cater to all sizes, but it only goes up to a size 28 and down to a size 4. So how do they think that makes people feel who are over a size 28? If size 28 is the range, if that's all sizes, then if I'm over a size 28, does that mean I don't exist? It makes you feel very invisible. It's dehumanizing, and none of us deserve that. So my plea to you, to all of you today, and I was really hoping to be eloquent about this, and I'm sorry that I kind of haven't been, but I'm trying. My plea to like all of you today is please try to love yourself as you are today, no matter what size you are now, and try to find a way to see the humanity in the body that you had before, that was still you, and that person still deserves love. So anyway, that's my video for today, and I hope that it has touched some of you. If this did speak to you, if you would please consider sharing this, or thumbs upping, or commenting, so that other people see it also, because I really feel like this is a really important message, and I hope that we can spread it as far as possible. And I'll see you all again next week. Okay, bye-bye.